Mr. Eggplant presents.
Hey guys, Tyler here. Thank you for checking out this video. And we're already on to week 5. So this is going to be my gearing update progression video here on my Marksman Hunter for Season 3 of Dragonflight Mythic Plus and the Amir Drasil raid. In fact, I got home just a little bit early, so I'm actually going to open my vault before raid. Normally I have to wait like till the end of raid night to actually record this. So hopefully weapon, we'll see what happens. But this last week, let me go ahead and do this real fast. I guess I forget, it never actually shows you. So I did complete a bunch of 20, so I have all 3 slots in my vault will be Myth Track for Mythic Plus, and then 2 heroic slots. Hopefully we get something good. So alright, let's make sure that we're in Marksman specialization, which we are. I'm going to do the meme thing once again. I hope you guys have a great vault opening, and here we go. Come on, something good, something good, something good. All right. So first from raid, we have tier shoulders. Okay. We have a waist, not bad. Don't have the Mog, and that weapon once again that we got or was in our vault last week. It's a good weapon, but we did already have a 483. All right, here we go. First item up is a belt. All right, so that's where I have one of my embellishments. I could always move that, but probably not going to. Here we go. Wrists with speed. That's probably going to be my pick right now, and it has a socket. And here we go. The last but not least is tier pants. That's going to be weird because I don't really know what to pick. I guess I'm probably going to end up doing the wrists, even though wrist isn't a big upgrade normally. I do have 447 wrists, but they are the complicated cuffs. So they do give me that res ability in Mythic Plus. Probably going to go with the wrist, get those to 489, has speed already on it, and already has a socket, so I don't have to worry about that. But these tier pants would be really good, very strong. However, that's where my embellishment is. I should say embellishment. It's just my flavor pocket, so maybe I could move the flavor pocket elsewhere. But it's between one of these two. I've already committed an aspect crest, so I'll probably end up being able to find pants later on. Looks like I'm getting invited to raid, so I better pick something quickly. I'm going to end up picking the wrists here. Probably actually going to wait till after raid, so don't tell my raid leader. But this will be what I'm picking unless I do something crazy. And here in just a second, you guys will see what I did finally pick as we finish the week. So let's go ahead and throw it over to future me. And we once again find ourselves back recording on a Monday night. So this is going to be for my week in review, if you will, for week 5 of Dragonflight Mythic Plus and week 5 of the Amir Drasil raid. So let's just go ahead and start off with raid like we have done. So first off, my guild did go 9 of 9 normal and 8 of 9 heroic. I unfortunately did miss out on our smolder on kill, so I'm technically 7 of 9. But we got to phase 2 a couple of times on Fireack. We've only pulled him 3 times though. So hopefully with any luck we'll have an AOTC by the time we have this conversation again next week. Although I guess that will be on Christmas Day. We'll figure out if I end up getting that video out. Anyway, so looking at my vault, as you guys saw previously, I was kind of waffling, but I did end up going with my wrists because we have several B-reses in the group. Just in general, we have a healer with the B-res, but then we also have Galakron, otherwise known as Glitchy, and Zaft with a B-res as well. So I went ahead and went for the Sojourner's Bracelet, and this was a 41 item level upgrade, something like that. Absolutely crazy. I pumped that up to 489, and then it already had a socket, so I didn't have to worry about wasting a vault week on a socket. As for what else did we do? Oh, I don't remember if I said it in the last week. I did pump up my Mythic tier gloves that I got to 489. But other than that, that was pretty much the only piece of gear that I got upgrade-wise. But it was a good upgrade. Well, I take that back. I forgot. I did end up getting the Traveler's Time Splitter, which was it's the Time Strike weapon that drops off of the second half of the Dawn of the Infinites dungeon. So I did get that on a hero track, and it does have that plus 315 Time Strike, which does, I would say approximately, it does 0.8% of my total damage in a Mythic Plus key. It's literally been 0.8 every time. In fact, I still have my last run up here. Let's see how much damage it did. Let's see here. Time strike. 0.8. It's literally 0.8 every single time. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I did manage to get the time splitter. It would be BIS at 489 because it does do that little bit extra damage just for having time strike on there. It does proc often. It doesn't do a lot of damage each time it procs, but it does proc a lot. And then my stats are still pretty much looking the same, and I'm hoping to hopefully get a mirror very soon. I was really trying to get a mirror this week. It didn't happen, to replace my Neltharian's Call to Dominance. And actually with the updated weapon, I actually need to drop a bunch of haste because I'm well into diminished returns right now. So I'm going to be looking to drop this Neltharian's Call to Dominance, which gives me haste once I get my mirror. Unfortunately, we'll be using that those two trinkets that are going to be on use, or if I get pips will go there as well. So pips is big on my list, and then try to get an upgrade to this cape. I may end up just getting a crafted cape since I will be getting another full spark this week, and I do need to upgrade the neck as well, but those aren't huge deals. So like I said, I do have a spark headed my way, so if you guys are trying to continue to do the power creep, you have the second half of your spark will be there hopefully tomorrow morning or tomorrow after raid, whatever you're doing, or Wednesday if you guys are playing over on the EU. But I have that to look forward to, and I still have a bunch of my dreaming crests. I still have 120 of those to spend, and so I'm going to be kind of prioritizing anything I get out of my vault, hopefully some good mythic track items, or pumping up the remaining items I have, maybe even getting a mythic track tier piece since I did not use my catalyst charge from this week. Anyway, that was kind of my gearing and how raid went. Overall, it went really well, and I really hope that we'll get AOTC this next coming week. Looking at my vault, I have 3 myth track items. Hopefully one of those is a good trinket or a weapon. I did actually do a plus 22 key this week. So we did a plus 22 Waycrest Manor. We didn't time it. We missed the timer by, I think, 2 minutes flat. We actually had a wipe on Goliath because there was no fire to clear the stacks on the boss for Zaft. Feels bad, but it is what it is, and it was a great run. It was a little messy, like kill-wise, but we literally threw Cowpow to the wolves and expected him to heal when he hadn't even done a 20 yet this season. So shout out to Cowpow. He did an amazing job, and he should definitely be proud of that, as well as the whole group. But Cowpow and Going on Can You Zap It did an amazing job, so shout out to those guys. So looking at my Mythic Plus rating, my goal last week was to get to 2.7k this week, and we did that. So I'm at 2,724 as of week 5 of season 3. My overall goal is going to get to 3k, which means I need to get like 22s, 23s across the board, maybe a few 21s depending on how well you do on those. Definitely think it's something I could do, and I don't even have full build yet gear wise, so there's a lot of more damage that I still have left on the table that I can add to my build, a new weapon, better trinkets, that sort of thing, to really see what I can do in a Mythic Plus scenario in those 21s, 22s, 23s of the world. And this was the Fortified, Entangling, and Bolstering week, so I don't know if it actually tells you all. I guess yes it does. It tells me all the ones I did. So I did a lot of Dawn of the Infinites there, as you can see. I did 2 of the Galakron's Fall, 2 Rise, and a lot of 18s that you guys don't see on the board. So what I'm aiming for is to fill in some of these lower keys on the tyrannical side this next week. I almost got all of these filled. Unfortunately, I did not do a Throne of Thunder. That'd be cool for the raid to become the dungeon. But Throne of the Tides, I did not do a key at all this week in there. I wish I would have done that, but oh well, I'll get it in a couple weeks. My goal is to get Rise cleared out on tyrannical this next week, and then see what I can do about getting a mirror. Week 6 mirror, that would be kind of nice. We'll just have to wait and see. And then one last thing, what I wanted to kind of talk about real quick in this video was people have asked me how I look up what my my uptime was on my buffs, because in all my videos, since I use as my embellishment, I use the blue silk lining. If you run details, so this is, for example, this is the plus 22 run I did. So we did 233k overall. I think I died 6 times. I just got one shot by a bunch of stuff, and we wiped twice. So 233k for an untimed key, I think is pretty good. I did have Galakron buffing me, so do keep that in mind. But if you come over here and then you, let's see, you hit the little sword, and then you go to resources, or excuse me, miscellaneous and buff uptime. So then this is the buff uptime for every single buff you had in the key, and then you just click on you can share it there, or you can just hover over there, and you can see 5th from the top, it says Zone of Focus, and that is this buff here, which gives me 1,249 mastery. So let's go back there. And I had an uptime of 71.6%, which for a dungeon that we died a lot in, that's pretty good. Keep in mind that does mean it's accounting for that run back time as well, so it does skew it a little bit. But all in all, I'd say we were healthily above 60% for the dungeon. That's really good for your embellishments, and it's only going to help you push keys even higher on your Marksman Hunter. And then one last thing, let's go back to damage. And I did want to kind of look at this really quick. So this is something that you guys have been asking for. This is what my damage profile looks like on my Hunter for just, this is just a key that we happen to be looking at. It just happens to be the 22 Waycrest. The rapid fire damage, you're getting so many more rapid fires out. They're doing so much more damage, and you're doing less multi-shots. This here is the reason why I don't buff multi-shot nearly as much in my build, whether that be with precise shots, target practice, or even bullet storm down there. It's just, it does not do a ton of damage. I understand I'm not buffing it all the time now, but there's just not a lot of damage on there with multi-shot, because what you can do is literally throw down your volley, rapid fire, and then you can, if you have your true shot up, go aim shot, and then rapid fire, and it'll just keep that same cleave trick shots going with that volley, so you never even need to put out a multi-shot to begin with, even if it is empowered. So I did cast it 155 times, which is still quite a bit. I don't remember doing it that much. Normally my arcane shot damage is much higher than multi-shot, so that was just something where we had a lot of trash that we had to deal with. We did get the buff to the incandescent essence. Well, I should say it works for us now. So that's going to be on the helm you get after week 5. You have to get 50 of the ephemera, and then it gives you this item that doesn't is not consumed on use, and it does scale based on the item level of your helm. So I should have upgraded my helm here. I haven't yet, but I should be doing that very soon, hoping to see if I can end up getting a myth track helm if I don't get an actual tier helm out of my vault. But this is kind of what my damages looks like. It's tracks pretty much, it's pretty accurate, I'd have to say. Kill shots not doing hardly any damage. I have so many like 0.8s, 0.9% of the world. Keep in mind, time strike, that just passive on my weapon, almost did is the same amount of damage as kill shot. That's kind of sad. Oh, it actually did more than my auto shot damage too. That's kind of sad, I won't lie. But all in all, it was a great week. I hope you guys continue to enjoy this series. And oh yeah, one last thing. I promised you guys I would be trying Hydra's Bite, so I did it this week. It's doing, like, just to give you an example in this key, it did 4.1% of my total damage. It's been doing, usually on a non-Hydra Bite build, it's usually doing like 2 to 2.2% of my total damage, and then latent poison is like 1.2% roughly. So it's a net gain of like 0.4, 0.5%. Is that pad damage because you're just doing it on trash? Yes, but at the same time, the trash does need to die. I was just really startled when latent poison from poison injection was doing like less than 1% of my total damage. So I'm going to try Hydra's Bite again this next week on a tyrannical key, see how it fares, and then I'll Probably end up going back to Latent Poison just because I'm lazy. I don't know. Play it by dungeon. We'll just have to wait and see. But thank you guys for checking out this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, and be sure to follow me over at Twitch at twitch.tv/MrEggplant. I hope you guys have a great holiday season, whatever you celebrate. I hope that it is a blessed and relaxing time for you, and I hope you guys get to spend a lot of time with your family and other loved ones. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next Monday.